Welcome everyone. So first of all, housekeeping thing is I do want your participation, but I don't want your background noise. So if you would just mute your microphone, and if you have something that you want to say, please don't hesitate to turn on your mic and just go ahead and join in. Ask questions. Let's make this as interactive as we possibly can. Hi, Sakina. Good morning. Good to see you. And because I hope that you all have a copy of the agenda. I sent a link to your email this morning with all the resources of the materials we're going to be covering. So you can jump on there. I'll also share my screen so that you have a copy of that agenda and can kind of follow along. Hi, Summer. Good morning. I see you on there too. Good to see you. Okay, so with that, Ben Nelson is on the agenda, but he is a little further down, and I'm going to move him up on the agenda so that he can talk about pets and the plans for pets, because that's a very important part of what we want to do. Let me just give you the overview of the meeting today. After Ben talks, we're going to have Sakina Lesmeister going to talk to us about finishing strong, and along with Summer Jackman. And then we'll have a segment on the district conference, which Kate Fornerato, who's here with me, will be presenting. So that's basically the agenda. And I hope, again, if you have questions, you won't hesitate to turn on your mic and just blurt right in and feel at home. And welcome, everybody. So good to see you all. So with that, Ben, let me go ahead and turn the time over to you.
Well, thanks a lot, Rich. And of course, thanks for everyone for being here. I mean, I know you guys could be watching Saturday morning cartoons right now with a big bowl of cereal, and instead you're watching Rich Kirkham, which is even better. I can just tell you from personal experience.
Actually,
it's about the excellent. And I just want you to know that that treadmill behind me is not going to collapse on my head. I promise. I did set it up, and it has been used before. I did have to take all the clothing off of it to set it up, but it's all good. But I want to say I'm really excited about my district governor year coming up. For those of you that don't know, I'm the district governor-elect. My name is Ben Nelson. I'm from the Burley Rotary Club, and I'm really excited that this year in March 13th and 14th, that's a Friday and Saturday, we'll be having pets, our president-elect training seminar in Burley. It starts at 1 o'clock, and it goes till Saturday late afternoon. And as club presidents, we need you guys to really help us have a successful pet. What helps us have a successful pet is, number one, that you guys have a future president already chosen for your club and that they're signed up and registered to attend. So please look at your vice president or your president-elect or whatever the term is in your club and remind them to go sign up for pets. Signing up for pets is super important. We need to get the right head counts, we need to get the right meal counts and get everything up and going so that can be a successful event. But also, we need you guys to make sure that they're aware and that they're going. The other thing is when they sign up for their hotel registration, please make sure that they mention that it's part of Rotary, because the more hotel rooms we get, the more of a discount we get too. So don't just call the Best Western in Burley and just book a room. Please make sure you also are using the Rotary rate when they call in to make the reservation. So again, it's going to be awesome. Please make sure the president-elect is aware and that they know and that they've signed up. We've had about 20 people sign up so far, so that means there's another 25 or 24 that really haven't signed up yet. But please go ahead and encourage them and remind them to sign up, sign up, sign up. The other thing that helps make pets really successful is that they come in and they already have their goals. So a lot of times we'll have pets and we want to get their goals entered into the system. We're going to have AGs there. We're going to have other district personnel there to help them get the goals set up for next year. And a lot of times people say, well, I don't know what our goals are for a club. And or I'm afraid to make a goal and have my club fire me or something like that. So we want you guys to please talk with them about what their club's goals are for foundation giving, for membership growth, for what service projects, for other type things, and please just go ahead and arm them with goals. So when they come to pets, they got their goals, and we can quickly put that stuff in, and you can even tell them the sooner they get that stuff done, the sooner pets will end, because we don't let anyone leave until everyone's put their goals in. Not really, but we just want to make sure that it's going to be a great, successful event. So on top of having pets, for the president-elect, we want you guys to know that more people are invited to pets than just your club presidents. So please don't be afraid. In fact, please encourage other members of your club to attend, like your foundation chair, your membership chair, your public image chair, or someone who even might act in that capacity that's on your board.
Ben, let me interrupt you for just a second. Somebody on the call sounds like they're making breakfast in the kitchen, which is great, and you're welcome to do that. Please mute yourself if you have your microphone on. Just turn your mic on if you want to talk.
I just thought someone was beatboxing for me.
I don't know who that is. I can't really identify who that is that's banging around. But
I think it's Kate Fornato. So
anyway, go ahead, man.
Again, part of PETS is we also have our Rotary Leadership program. So again, please, people from your club, even if they're a vice president or on the president line, there's so much to be learned and so much to be had at PETS for just all the leadership of your club. So again, we hope you guys put Burley on your radar. A lot of people don't know this, but Burley in March, it's special. It's amazing. And you have to see it to believe it. And trust me, just come and experience PETS and Burley and just how wonderful it is. I mean, we're right by the B4 Canal. If you look at that map, I mean, that's, if you haven't been before Canal, I mean, that's B4. I mean, that's, you got Maverick's First Stop Adventure right next door. I mean, this is a big deal, this location. And again, we just hope you guys know that you're all invited, and please encourage your people to attend, remind them to register. And again, the fee, we do this at cost. We do everything we can. That includes your meals. So we really do everything we can to keep this affordable for your clubs and a great experience. And just, there's great synergy when people come together. You know, Rotary's all about coming together, exchanging ideas, and doing great things. So anyway, please come to PETS. If you have any questions, please contact me. But we'd love to have you. Want to invite you guys, and please pass this on to your clubs and your and again, come up with their goals and help arm them with their goals and help them come to be prepared for an awesome Rotary year with me when we start on July 1st. So go 2020.
Thank you, Ben. I appreciate that. On the screen, there's I clicked on the link to the President-elect Training Seminar. Can everybody see that? Is that what you're seeing on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
So that's the that's where you go to get online to register. Yes. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact any one of the district governor chain. We'll get you involved in that. Come and bring your leaders. Any questions on PETS that you would like to ask Ben?
I forgot to add one more thing, Rich, is we actually are bringing in a speaker from Texas. He's a multiple CEO of several large credit unions, one in San Diego and the American Airlines Credit Union. And he's a motivational speaker that's spoken at conferences all over the country. And he's got some amazing experiences. He's going to be our keynote for both the Friday dinner and the Saturday lunch. He's got a couple different messages, and he's going to be a really exciting speaker. So again, it's going to be really awesome. Again, just wanted to put that little plug in for that. It's going to be, again, this is going to be a great PETS this year. I mean, if you thought last year's PETS was great, oh man, you haven't seen anything yet. This is going to be so much better, right, Rich?
Are there going to be unitards involved? Is that the deal? You and a unitard?
I mean, I can't control what people bring, but we'll see.
All right. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Ben. Safe travels.
So next on our agenda is finishing strong. I had invited Lori Appel to present this. Lori is president of the Boise Centennial Club. It's a remarkable club, and all clubs are remarkable, but I had a particularly wonderful experience visiting the Boise Centennial Club. And I had asked Lori some time ago if she would be willing to participate in today's call. And then she called me and says, I'm going to be having surgery. And so, but I think I'll be okay to do the presentation because it's not too serious. Yesterday, Sakina Lesmeister called me and said, guess what? Lori is not feeling good. And she has asked me to fill in. And so I am so delighted
His wife, I'm not sure.
has been involved in the district as our. Hey, would everybody mute yourself if you're not actively on the call? Just go ahead and hit that little mute button on your on your thing. So anyway, Sakina has worked in district membership. She has been involved in our club. She's president-elect, and she is going to share with us some principles of finishing strong. And so, Sakina, I'll turn the time over to you, and you can go ahead and share your screen if you like.
All right, sounds great. Thank you. Can you hear me okay before you go on mute?
Yep.
Yes.
I hope you can hear me. Yeah,
We're
yeah,
hearing you
okay,
good.
great. I was like, oh no. Yes, thank you. It's an honor to be with you all. I sure appreciate this opportunity to share what our club is doing. And Lori is sad she couldn't be here. She's just recovering. And so I assured her that, you know, we're on the same page. So I'll share a similar message to what she would have, but a lot of mine is going to be giving her tons of props on everything in her leadership. So after Rich and I's conversation, I was at work, I was thinking about how am I going to present this and take a few minutes and make sure that I leave with a good inspirational message for, you know, finishing the year strong. No pressure. Morning or 8:30, but I'm really happy to be here. Thank you all for being here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. What I thought I would do is at my work, as a product owner, we go through and produce items, and then afterwards we have a retrospective. So I thought I would do on our year so far and share that with you guys. So let me know when I get this screen here if you are able to see this. So retrospective is, can you see my screen okay, Rich?
We're seeing it okay.
Give me a thumbs up. Okay, it seems to be there's a little bit of a delay, so I want to make sure that I'll go a little bit slower, but basically, retrospective for us is looking at the year so far, what's going well, what could be improved, and what do we plan on doing to finish the year strong. And as Rich mentioned, I'm the president-elect, so I've learned a lot from Lori already this year. And just so you know, this is not a plug for pets 100%, but it is going to be centered a lot around that. That because what set us up for to be strong was really attending that. So what has gone well so far, I put together this quick video because I'm a very visual person, so I hope this plays out okay over the internet. And I'm going to talk through this, just kind of sharing a recap of what we've done so far that kind of gives strength to our club. So when I look at our club at Boise Centennial Rotary, the biggest strength that we have is, although we're small, we have very passionate people. It's the individuals that take on extra roles and do a phenomenal job that really sets us up for strength. We do focus quite a bit on leadership and making sure that we have set up our foundation strong with our leaders, and that was going to pets. Our vice president and secretary, Amy, and that really helped us with the transition from Chase, who already set up a very strong year for us, to Lori. We tried to make sure that we work together as a team, and Lori is just an awesome leader, so she's done a phenomenal job. Our big focus has been on our people and making sure that we have fun. So we've really figured out who our club is, and that's, you know, involving our families and involving the whole organization. It's a small club again, but everybody shows up and they have smiles on their faces and they bring their families, and all of that really sets us up for a unique club. So that's us. we've partnered with organizations like or events like Empty Bowl there, and sponsorship for some other clubs here locally as a pipeline to get more members. So Lori had an opportunity to present on who Boise Centennial Rotary is and what we're working on, how they can become members. And then we also, this is Casey and I, we set up a table at Boise Young Professionals. We've targeted them as a pool of folks that we can draw for membership as well. And then for the second year, we've done the United Way Pancake Feed, where we've tied in fellowship and have a strong presence in the community. We've actually gained some members that way, so we're going to continue that as well. This is us at the Ronald McDonald House. We had a privilege tour and got to see the whole facility, and then we donated our time and made them some meals. Our goal this year was to be Paul Harris Fellows. All of us, the entire club is now Paul Harris Fellows. We had some members that donated some points, and that helped us. We also set a goal of having diverse speakers. Our speaker program person did a great job. We had a contested candidate race, I would say, in Boise for the mayor, and we had both the current mayor and the mayor who is now Boise's mayor-elect come into our club and present and speak their mind and what's important to them, which was really cool. We did a whole month on arts, and this is the Boise Philharmonic's conductor. So we focus on arts and humanities, kind of created some themes. This is Opera Idaho. They came and did a live performance, which was a great way to start our day. What a treat that was. And then we also, this last Thursday, did an offsite. We try to mix in some offsite meetings. This is at the glass blowing facility just down the street from us. And they showed us how to blow the glass, and they actually created this really awesome paperweight that's Rotary, has a Rotary logo on there. So we try to mix in different types of things, and I would say that is one of our strengths as well, is our people are very open to trying new things to help kind of spice things up, I guess, and they're not stuck like this has to be the way, which is really giving us an advantage. So those are some of the things that has gone well so far that we've done well to try to keep our membership engaged. And again, going back to beginning, what happened, what really started out our team, a leadership team strong, was we set an expectation that all presidents, president-elects, vice presidents must attend PETS. When they go in and they have an interest in wanting to be a leader, we put that in and put those dates in and say, hey, this is what's going to happen. We'll pay for your hotel. We'll pay for your registration. But we found that it was important to do that because it allowed Lori, Lisa, and I, and Amy, who is there, who's our secretary, really to be engaged, energized, and excited together. It allowed us to have a chance to be on the same page, learn about other clubs and what's working, what's not working. It gave us a chance from the get-go to create our goals together, so we're all in line and sync. And then as a president-elect, it set me up for success to be able to get a sneak peek of what's working and what's to come, right? So it has helped me a lot to prepare. So I know, and the expectation we set in our club is if you're going to take on a role of VP, just so you know, in 2 years you will be president. So next year, that's my goal, and that's been my vision the whole time going into the president-elect role. Same with our vice president. She will be our president-elect next year. So setting those expectations has really helped us. We already have our folks who will be attending PETS. We're not all signed up, but some of us are. And we try to set them up, and we've actually opened it up to anybody who wants to go, and we'll pay for their hotel and registration. So far, our president, Rich, has asked me to kind of compare what is our president lineup look like, or our leadership lineup, and what does it look like for next year. We've identified all our leaders. We will do official election here this week. Lori will be past president. I will be president. Lisa Berg will be our new president-elect. that opened up a VP role, and Brandon Snodgrass, who's been very active, has been public image chair, that kind of stuff, has stepped into that role. He's already signed up for pets and excited to go. We'll have the same secretary, Casey. We recently had a transition in our treasurer role. Chris McGee is very new to our organization, and again, going back to that people side, people come in and they're willing to step into these roles. Chris just gave his classification talk like 2 weeks ago. He is now our treasurer because we needed to fill that role, had an immediate vacancy, and he stepped in and has done a great job, and is excited to take on that role next year as well, and will be attending pets with us. Our immediate past president, I said Lori. Membership is Shanna. I believe she's going to continue that. We're waiting confirmation, so she'll have a second year. We were encouraging her to do that role because membership takes a little bit of time to get going and get used to, and it will give her an opportunity to really set a strong foundation for next year as well. We do have an open public image position. However, there's 4 of us that regularly post on our social media sites, so it won't be really open. We just don't have a lead right now. And then our sergeant at arms position opened up, and we've identified somebody that's willing to take on this role. Also a new member who's very engaged, Jason Jones. So that's what our club officer lineup looks like, which has been already identified. We've had conversations. They're very active in our board meetings. In terms of what could be, so far, any questions? Yeah, or comments before I can.
Let me just interrupt and make a comment. This is so important, I think, to point out and congratulate you for having your team already in place. And I'd love to poll everybody on this call today to see how many of you have a president-elect that already has their team, her or his team already worked out like Sakina does. But this is going to put Sakina so far ahead of the curve because she already knows who she's going to be working with. There's not going to be any surprises come July 1st. These people already know they're in training now, and they'll be ready to move ahead. And this is the traction that we want to have in every club. So well done with that. And thank you for letting me interrupt. Go ahead, Sakina.
All right. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. I would say in reflecting on what could be improved, one area that just talking to Rich yesterday that was made apparent was like we are not visiting the goal center as much as we should be as a board, and I am not as familiar with it as a president-elect as I should be. So just going into the goal center, I think it's going to let me go here. It should pull up my page. I actually had not visited, to be honest, since last time we were in pets, so that kind of says something, and I'll take ownership of that, and I will put that on my list of some things to improve, but we try to stay on top of this as much as possible, but I think there's an opportunity there to be able to go into our dashboard and go into our goal centers. This was actually very helpful. I will say, having visited this during pets, I was able to pick this back up really quick last night as I was going through this. I'm not able to edit as a president-elect, just so you are all aware. However, if I go into my year, which will be 2020 and 2021, I do have the visibility to be able to go and the ability to be able to go edit. So I now know I can go and start creating my goals for next year, which is fantastic. I did not know that. So I'm really looking forward to that and having that conversation with Lori.
Out of curiosity, the screen we're seeing still says what could be improved goal center. Are you
I'm sorry.
Center? See if maybe you have a different screen.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I've been sharing this whole time and I had no idea. So yeah, here we go.
There we go. Now we're seeing.
Okay, thank you for telling me that. Yeah, thank you. So this is where I just pulled up the Club Central Goal Center. It launches into your dashboard. So We have visibility to this, and this is something we share with our club. We have been in the past regularly, but we need to do those more often. In our goal center here, this is the page I was talking about that I do not have permissions as a president-elect to be able to edit for this specific year, for 1920. However, if I just scroll over to here, I do have this availability. So all your president-elects have this ability to go in and create their goals. Now I have, so I can go in here and adjust my goals. I can select this, I could go here, put 2 or whatever that is in those areas, and be able to set myself up for success coming into pets. So this is really great, and this is something that I plan on visiting with Lori, our president, when she's back. So now I think I have to go back and share. Oops, stop sharing. I'm going to share my presentation again here. Hold on just a sec, please. All right, so going back to, that's an area that we, I think we as a club, and we've identified we could work on, so that way we reach our goals. And yeah, and so in terms of finishing strong, Lori has done a great job. One of her goals coming into this year was making sure that we do a visioning, the visioning exercise or visioning meeting that's made available by the district, which we're really grateful for. We tried to do that actually a couple months ago, didn't have success with dates matching up, but then we decided to postpone it. Lori had a great idea. She wanted to get the new officers installed or identified and then do the meeting. So our plan is sometime in February to hold the visioning meeting. So that way I go into my year and I know exactly what our club focus and vision and mission, all of that is. I've heard that's a really fantastic exercise, and it takes like 4 hours. So I'm looking forward to our club going through that. We have a lot of new members, and I think this will put us in a really great position to finish strong and start the year strong next year, so we're all on the same page. As far as other goals, I put in there visiting goal center regularly, setting my goals prior to attending pets, now that I know that I have the ability to do that, and then setting time ahead of time to go and do that. I think that will be really helpful. Continuing to fill in for Lori when needed. So this was another thing I mentioned to Rich yesterday, was that one success that's been great for me is sitting in for Lori when she can't attend a meeting. Chase and Lori and then Chase the year before have been really great about not taking on the entire role themselves and opening it up to others in our board if she needed help. That's sometimes hard as a leader to go, I need help, can you please fill in? But that's been really a great opportunity for me as a president-elect to be able to learn and see what it's like. Because like the first meeting I ran, it was kind of scary. I had no idea, and it seems really easy when you're just sitting in there in the meeting, but then when you're actually running it, you forget, oh, I need to ring the bell here, or I need to do the 4-way test, those kind of things. So these are the things, just having run a few meetings has been so helpful for me, and then it allows me the opportunity to be able to step in for her for things like this. Now I know what these look like, have had a preview of it, these president meetings. So, I mean, it just sets me up for success. I've ran a couple of the board meetings for her as well. So all of that really helps me to have a strong foundation going into next year. We'll continue to have our focus on people and fun. We actually, in our meetings, we do the 4-way test, and our 5th one is always to have fun. We've added that. And then one other thing I want to mention before I'm done just wrapping up here is we have been talking about considering first Thursday doing an evening fellowship instead of a meeting. So this is something we're in the works right now. We meet Thursday mornings at 7, but we have had a couple of members who have said that they can't always be there because of meetings or some changes in their jobs. So, and we want to continue to keep them as members. So we're considering doing one Thursday meeting in the evening to see how that will work. And then it's also a way for us to get some publicity out and kind of be out talking to the community. So, you know, whether it's bowling or whatever we end up doing. And then, so in the beginning I mentioned our club is pretty open, have an open mind, which I'm really grateful for. So we have a fundraiser. Our fundraiser has changed from Winter Windup, which we've done in the past. This year, for the first time, we're going to try a new event in March called Rotary Olympics, and it's going to be at the Axe Place, where literally there will be axe throwing. It's in the works right now, more to come, but we've been planning on how do we make it engaging in different ways and get the word out about community, about Rotary, and raise funds, all that stuff. And this is very, very different. When it was first presented, we're kind of like, ooh, is it going to work? But it's turning out to be a really great fundraising opportunity for us, and it will be end of March. So those are the things we have to look forward to. And again, thank you for this opportunity to present to you guys and kind of share what we are working on. I would say the biggest thing as a leader is just Lori's done a great job with getting everybody involved in our board, providing opportunities for others to lead, and just really leveraging pets.
Bravo.
Oh, bravo. Thank you. If you could stop
Thank
sharing your screen, Sakina, I'd appreciate it.
I don't know, I like the axe
And
throwing.
I love the axe. Oh my gosh, that is so great. So,
Thank you.
let's see. Okay. Anyway, can you stop your screen share, Sakina? This will stop.
I said, see it. Oh, nope, it doesn't. I mean, it says not sharing anymore.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Okay.
Let me see if I can go to mine. Okay, there. I think now I can stop the share. Stop the share. Oh, okay, great. If you have your gallery selected so that you see 25 of us up on the screen, I hope you can all see that. If you can't switch to that, everybody, I know you're muted, but can you go like this? And that will be applause for Sakina. Can
Yes.
everybody do that?
Thanks.
Super. We love you. You're great.
Thank you.
If anybody has a question or a comment about Sakina's presentation, go ahead and unmute yourself and make that comment. Okay, then. With that, I thank you.
This is
Sakina.
Mike. Sorry, I'm a little slow on my unmute button. I really appreciated the way you had your leadership team laid out in a nice succinct format so you can see where you're having transition. We have a similar schedule for getting our new teams in place, but I really liked the way you put that together so you could see where you need to focus on those transitional and what positions are open. That's something I'm going to steal to share with my club where there's leadership opportunities available coming up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. And by the way, this meeting is all about stealing ideas from one another because that's what we do best in Rotary. So that's great. Thank you. And I would now like to ask one of our current sitting presidents, Summer Jackman, if you would take the microphone and talk to us a little bit about your plans as a club president to finish your year strong.
Okay, sure. Can you guys all hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I don't have a PowerPoint. That was pretty impressive, Sakina, so well done. This year for our club has been kind of an interesting year. We're a pretty big club. We've always operated with a pretty sizable budget. We had a Nutcracker event for years that was just kind of steady, very predictable. And so our club pretty much knew from year to year what we were going to do for fundraising. The ballet club that we worked with decided a few years ago that they could do that job on their own. And so that left us at square one. And we have a club member, in fact, I think Stacy's on the call, but Tanner Hernandez at Primetime Auction was nice enough to lend us the auction platform for a couple of years to kind of fill that gap. But we knew we needed something different. So when I was in as vice president, I had no idea that this year would be the year that we needed to kind of get something new going. And so for most of the year, the focus for our club has been developing this new fundraiser. And that it's a chocolate tasting event. We took the idea from some Twin Falls folks. And can you hear me, Rich?
Yes.
Okay. And that event is this Friday, which puts us right about halfway through the year. So in all honesty, that has occupied so much of our club's resources that it's been a little bit difficult to think of anything else. But I've got a list of things that we're going to work on for the second half. The first one is after our fundraiser, after we know how much money we've raised. It seems kind of silly, but it's a change for our club. We've always done our budgeting backward. We started the year in January, knowing what the Nutcracker will bring in. We budget accordingly, and the money shows up mid-year. We weren't able to do that this year, so we really cut our budget back. And one of the goals going forward is to use our fundraising efforts to allow Jay Colonel, our president-elect, to solicit feedback from our club members, maybe get some new ideas for service opportunities, and really assist him and next year's board in setting some of those goals. We also are planning on tracking those goals that we set at PETS. We did set a foundation goal that required a bylaw change in our club so that we met the threshold for everybody donating. It's, I think, $125 every year. We've got a number of Paul Harris Society members. And so our club will reach that goal. And our last one is to focus on membership. We were doing really, really well. We went into, I think, the month of December with a net gain of 2 members, and in January we're down 4. We had a number of club members change jobs, move out of state, move to Idaho Falls, and it really doesn't take too many of those for the membership numbers to fall. So that will be a focus for the rest of this half, including a social fourth quarter that we're hoping to be kind of an invite your friend to Rotary, make it fun, see if we can get some membership numbers up that way. So that's where we're at. That's what our goals are. We do, our club, I think, does a really nice job of getting leadership teams in place. We hold our club elections in December, so we do know who our president-elect, vice president. We know who those folks will be. We know who our board members will be. It'll just be a matter of Jay and his team kind of putting those players where they're going to be most successful.
Everybody give Summer a round of applause. Thank you very much, Summer. Anybody that has any further comments or questions about finishing strong, this will be the end of this segment in terms of things we all need to be thinking about, but obviously you need to be putting your arm around your president-elect and getting them ready to go, helping them figure out what a budget is, to getting their team all organized and set up in place, as is happening with Sakina, to give them an opportunity to run a meeting or two so that they're not nervous about that. So a lot of this second half will be preparing for the upcoming change of guard. Anybody with a comment or a question, please go ahead and unmute yourself. Go ahead, Steve.
One of the things that we've been doing for the last couple of years, and we're going to be doing week after next, is we get together on a quarterly basis with the current president, the past president, president-elect, and the vice president. And now that we have a new lineup for that, we get together and have lunch once a quarter and take a look at where we're at, where we've been, where we're going, just so that the visioning piece keeps moving forward. And it's kind of an informal leadership gathering where we can share ideas, the things that worked and where we stubbed our toes as presidents, and try not to commit the same mistakes we did. So that's been working well for us.
Oh, great idea. Thanks for sharing that. Does anybody else have a comment they'd like to make?
I do.
Okay.
I found that last year was the first time I'd been to PETS because our president-elect at the time wasn't able to join us there. I went alone and it was very isolating. I was lucky that Russ was there to walk me through many parts of that. Larry Gephardt showed up as one of the trainers. It is invaluable to have a team that goes, and I think having all those things that Sakina brought up, lining out what's on the Rotary website, figuring out what your goals are ahead of time, even though you can change them. But participating together allows a little more synergy and a lot more fun, and you feel like, okay, we're in this now, we can start to understand what's going on. Otherwise, you just feel like you're swimming upstream with all the other salmon and you don't know what direction you're going to go. So all that information's coming at you and you're thinking, what does that mean? And who's that person? And the lobster comes out and says, let's do some great fundraising. And you're thinking, okay, that sounds like fun, but how do I even begin to implement that? So creating the opportunity to start now, set that leadership in place. Sakina had some great ideas. And there's no wrong way to do it. It's just getting more than one person to show up and creating that energy for what the potential is. So you're finishing strong, but you're really setting up for a strong, strong start.
Thank you. Anyone else have
Rich,
a comment? Go ahead.
This is Randy from Centennial Rotary. I was going to pass on one thing that's somewhat similar from what I've heard from Sakina and others that we did new this year that I think has been quite effective and also been interesting is that we have our board meeting the last Monday of the month, and we plan specifically to hold a first Monday meeting that we hold the first Monday of every month. And we do not schedule a speaker at that meeting, and we use it specifically to take care of business. We always seem to be a little short of time taking care of the business of running our club, and that's been effective. And as a part of that, we initiated what's called a spotlight, where we begin that first Monday event by spotlighting a specific member. And we did that initially with new members in the club to recognize that we tend to know people on a superficial basis. We don't know a lot about them, so we want to introduce new members and let them tell us a lot about them so we get to know them better. And that's been effective. And we circled around after we had gone through the new members and started to focus on the very oldest members in the club. And what I found is that giving 5 minutes to an old member does not work. And sometimes they've taken up most of the first Monday, which was a little bit difficult to manage. But on the other side of that coin, we have learned invaluable things from older members. Not only about their lives personally and how they developed over time, but the wisdom that some of our old members have and their experiences in Rotary is invaluable. So we've learned not only about those individuals, and I initiated this in part because when you have new members come in, they need to be educated a little bit about Rotary. So we wanted to take the first Monday meeting and have training. And I've tried to designate one of our board members, for example, the board member who's in charge of foundation. This is your program that you come in and explain and educate our members and use material and information that's on the Rotary website to train us all about the foundation. So it's a good opportunity to kind of refresh memories of existing members, but it's really a good opportunity to train new members who come in and really don't know how all this works very well. But the surprising part about it that I would pass on is the insight you can learn from old members. And they've been old members of Rotary for a reason. And so you learn about their loyalty and what influences them as an individual. And we have actually, after hearing from a couple of the old members, we've started to have our membership chair go back and decide that we need to interview them and actually record and develop somewhat of a history about the interesting lives they've had individually and what impacted them to take on an organization like Rotary, where you put service above self. And they all seem to have an individual story that brought them to Rotary and that has kept them here for a long time. And sharing that with the rest of the members has probably been the most invaluable thing that we took out of this first Monday meeting, more than what I anticipated going in. So that's been a good thing for our club, and I think Kate would agree to that, and we'll probably perpetuate that. And it's a work in progress, but I wanted to kind of pass that on to everybody.
Well, I love that idea. I think sometimes Rotary meetings tend to be programs, and we hear a lot about what's going on outside, but having a meeting dedicated to talking just about Rotary, what a strong, a wonderful way to strengthen your club. Great comment, Randy. Thank you. This is a wonderful discussion. Is there any other ideas, thoughts you'd like to share with each other about your song?
I would. I made the mistake of trying to make a big change at the beginning of our year. We had people that every club member has to get a speaker, and we go alphabetically.
Lisa, could I interrupt you just a second? Just tell everybody that you're Lisa Vetter from the Emmett Club.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Lisa Vetter from the Emmett Club. I had heard some great ideas when I was at the district celebration about getting speakers lined up, and our speaker wrangler decided he didn't want to do that anymore. And so I thought, okay, nobody wants to get speakers, so I'll just take care of it all. And I'll plan it, and I'll go according to what the Rotary theme is for the month. Holy cow, don't do that. Just don't. And then my board finally said, knock it off. Let us pitch in and help you. But in doing that, what I really wanted to do was we had a lot of members that wanted more of that Rotary education. And like you said, Randy, there's not enough time. So I was making sure that we had at least one Rotary Education Day, something that went with the theme of the month. And it was a little bit too much. So we only have 2 speakers a month now. And we also, after our board meeting, have a club assembly. So we do talk about all of the business things. And then on the 4th Thursday, we are having Rotary education, whether that means learning how to get into Club Runner and know how to use it, how to log into Rotary.org, and or learn about the foundation, whatever it is at that time. It's really been helpful for us to get more of that knowledge, not just for the new members, but for the older ones too, who've either forgotten or have actually never logged in after being a member for 30 years. Go figure. So just making more time, because all we had was speakers, and we weren't connecting. So that's what we're doing for the rest of the year.
Good job. Thank you, Lisa. Anyone else have a comment you'd like to share?
I will real quickly just say that we are starting a brand new membership model option.
Stephanie, tell everybody that you are from the McCall Club.
All right. I am from the McCall Club, and I'm Stephanie, and not a very quick learner apparently. But we're doing something pretty scary. We have decided that we are going to open up our membership to a once-a-month member, where they are paying for coming to lunch once a month. And it is an opportunity for them to learn about Rotary, about our club, and whether they would like to then move into full-term membership. And so this is in the hands of our president-elect, Colby Rampton. And his goal for our February 12th membership meeting is to have 30 members there, new prospective members, I should say. Individuals from the community that are invited by our membership, because we've all identified that this is somebody we feel would make a great Rotary member. And so we're doing a program specifically for them on the 12th and introducing them to all the other members in the club that can attend. And then if they're interested, they'll go through the membership process and the vetting and the education that we do for each new member. And so we'll see. We've suffered 10 member loss last year. We're down 3 members this year, and we're taking a pretty proactive approach to rectifying that. So it should be really fun to see how it's going to go. The club as a whole has embraced it. This has not been put on the club. The club has been asked if they would accept this type of membership. And they'll be members with Rotary. They'll pay all the dues and be full-term members for Rotary International. But in terms of for our club, we do a required lunch program. So you're paying for lunch whether you're there or not. And we know that this is prohibitive to some of our community members. And so we're trying this model so that they're only committing to buying 1 lunch a month. And they're only coming once a month, but we're hoping that's going to stimulate them to be full-time members. And who knows, maybe our whole membership model will change by the time the next couple of years go along, because we have some ideas about that too. So that's going to be a big deal for our last 6 months of my year, and a strong start for Colby.
That's great. Keep us posted on that. That's very, very interesting. A lot of clubs are experimenting with new member models, and it will be see what emerges as being successful. And if you just do the same thing you've always done, you'll always get the same results. So there you go. Anyone else have a comment, a question that they'd like to make? Go ahead, Dave.
All right, Dave Goldthorpe from Western Treasure Valley Rotary. We're focusing on a major park project here before the end of my time. We got a matching grant from our city to match $10,000 of funds and do kind of some major improvements on our Rotary Park in town. So that's what our focus is for this next part of my time here.
Great. Wow, that will be a legacy project. Good for you, Dave. Awesome. Anyone else have something to share?
This is Bob Rose with Boise Southwest. You hear me?
Yes, Bob, go ahead.
Okay. We have tried this year to do new membership things. One, we call, as they pointed out, once a month, we call it a flex membership. And that has helped us get some people who are very busy. We've also instituting what we call a corporate membership, where a company has a Rotarian, a person that's our Rotary Club, but they rotate some of their people through and come to our meetings. And we also charge every meeting, whether you make it or not. We've also worked on a satellite club, which we've started one in Idaho City. So we're going to have 12 or 13 new members starting this month to get them going, because we don't think they'll, at this point, be able to be big enough to be an independent club, but hopefully someday. But trying to get some things started there. And we're also working on a Rotary Club for the high school too. So it's been an interesting year. A lot of our members on the board are working to get this done. So that's some of the things that we're doing for membership.
Wow. I'm so grateful to see that you club presidents aren't just sitting back and coasting for the next 6 months. It sounds like you have some great goals and you're going to finish strong. And that's what this meeting is all about, is to kind of share that enthusiasm and your ideas with each other, so that you're inspired. You go away from this meeting thinking, yeah, this is a good time for me to really pause now and set my goals for finishing a very strong year. Because for a lot of us, especially those of you who have larger clubs, you'll probably only have one shot at this to be a club president. So we want it to be a great memory for you to have to look back on. Anybody else have something they'd like to share?
I do.
Okay.
This is Mike Markley. I'm also a member of the Boise Southwest Club, but I'm an assistant governor in the Boise area. And just a really short little bit of advice for the sitting presidents. Meet with your president-elect and remind them how busy they're going to be their first half of their year. Because I think that a lot of times, and I know this is true for me, going into my presidency, I thought I could implement some changes at the beginning of the year that could take place during my year. But really, if a president-elect is thinking about making any changes, that needs to happen now, and with your help as the sitting president, so that it can kind of be in place when they get going. Because it doesn't take long before you're just wrapped up with the week-to-week churn of making sure that the meetings are running and all the folks that are working on their tasks are doing their tasks. And so implementing new changes on top of that is really a bigger challenge than they might think. So anyway, that would be my little bit of advice for the sitting presidents. Just sit down with your president-elect and make sure that they're thinking about what changes they want to make, so they can do it now.
Good advice. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. And appreciate all you AGs that are on the call today, and hope that you'll look over which of your clubs are not here today and cover them on this and share the recording, and make sure that we reach out to every club so that this water gets to the end of all the rows. Okay, well, I'm going to, our time is slipping away quickly, and we have very important final segment of this Finishing Strong series that we'll spend this next half hour on, and that is on district conference that will be coming up in May. And we have our district conference chairman here today, Kate Fornerato, And so I'm going to turn the time over to Kate to let her go ahead and train us and talk to us about district conference.
As a team, welcome. I'm so impressed that you are all here this morning. And I want to say I'm ready for a seventh inning stretch because we've been sitting for an hour. Yeah, so we're feeling a little bit like we're stiff. Impressive group of presidents and president-elects. It's a very nerve-wracking opportunity, but I'm sure everyone's excited about that part. One of the things I want to take away from what Sakina said is the objective of the district celebration is to create membership engagement, to have fun, to create a new energy and synergy for moving forward, to share ideas. Rich has traveled around dutifully in his RV to meet with clubs, and the things that he's really experienced is that people want to know how to do fundraising, how to do engagement, these pieces that you've been talking about. So we want to create that opportunity for them at district conference. It will be a little bit different than it's been in the past. We're excited to challenge some of those ideas so that you start thinking, oh, maybe we could try this and implement that. And the wonderful thing about life is you try stuff. If it doesn't work, you let it go and you move on to the next thing that really works for you. And every club is so different. And that's what makes Rotary really quite wonderful and exciting. We're trying to make sure that we are partnering with ISU. We want people to come to Pocatello because many of you have not been here before. ISU has a new president. I'm wearing the orange and black colors. We're excited to show you what we have. It's a live, learn, and play. It's a lot more relaxed, fun, engaging for individual relationships. We think that that's really where it begins. As we talked about pets, we talked about the fact that it's bringing your team there and then meeting people. As I said, Russ McCoy was invaluable to me when I got to pets. He was the one who walked me through things, and then I felt a little bit of a safety net. We want people to come to Pocatello and say, wow, that was really fun. What are we going to do that's going to let the community know what Rotary does? You can do all these great things together in a tight little circle in your room on your meeting days, and then you go out and do meetings and you meet people. But if the community doesn't know what Rotary stands for, how are the kids going to know? How are the Rotaracts going to know that, yeah, Rotary is a lifelong journey of relationship building and life-changing events around the globe. And kids are more into experiences and how can I actually have impact on my community as well as a global community. And Rotary does it all. It's an amazing celebration that we want to bring to you, and we really want you to be engaged and have that input. So if you go to the district conference website.
I'll just share that here real quick. Let me bring up a screen. And so let's see. Can you all see my web browser here? If you can, I'm going to open up a new page here. I'm going to just go to Rotary5400.org. Is everybody seeing Rotary 5400? Okay.
Rich's picture.
You're not seeing Rotary 5400? Okay, let me stop the share and try that again.
Yeah, it was a discussion that you had up.
Chat.
Okay, let's try this again. Share and try Chrome and share.
Good.
Now, are you seeing the Rotary 5400? Perfect. Okay, so if you go to Rotary 5400, and I apologize that the first thing you see is my picture, but if you're having a mouse problem, just make a screenshot of that, put it down where mice can see it. It scares them to death. It'll solve your mouse problem. Okay, then go to right below my picture is this banner that says Seeing the Future, Rotary Seeing the Future. It's 2020 Vision, ladies and gentlemen. That's where you click on that. That takes you to the website. You want to give us a tour?
Sure. Well, one of the things that we want to talk about is we've got the registration, which is your first tab, right?
So if you click on that, it actually redirects you to this page here where there are registration options.
Right, the registration options. And we're still, and please forgive us, but one of the things, ISU was out for almost a month. And so some of the things that we're trying to coordinate and collaborate with them on, for instance, the foundation dinner or foundation reception will be on Thursday. Some of those things we've had to coordinate now because they are just now getting back in session. So there are pieces of this that we're still in progress. Please bear with us. But we are working on all-in clubs is your club all in for the district conference?
Okay, so
for
let
registration?
me go back to the website. Up here on the top navigation bar under register, you will find the
discount.
first one that says discount all-in clubs. This is something that is really intended for this group. But if you click on that, this is a place where you'll have it. I also sent you a link by email this morning, and this is the all-in clubs. Now, what does that mean? Tell us.
Our goal is, just as we mentioned earlier, more membership engagements. We want you to send your leadership groups to district conference, district celebration. We want people to come. And if we can give the $50 discount for the members to be able to come, and you cancel your week of meetings, and then we can have a group of people who actually attend for the conference. There is a $50 discount that we need to have. Was it May 1st that we want to know for sure?
Yes,
about the district conference? We want to make sure that we have buy-in from the clubs, support from the clubs that say we want to send a team to get involved and find out what was going on in district celebration. That is the all-in piece for the membership, the $50 discount.
So that won't necessarily be something that will fit every club. You'll kind of have to think about it. But we learned last year when it was in Boise that a lot of clubs that were in Boise said, well, you know, why are we going to have a meeting that week if there's a district conference?
Right.
Let's go to district conference. And so we're thinking that the 3 Pocatello clubs might want to participate in this, the Blackfoot Club, maybe the Idaho Falls Club, St. Anthony. Jim, you might want to bring your club all in. And to be an all-in club, really what you need to do is sign up with me and let me know we're going to be an all-in club. And for that, any of your members that are in the all-in benefits club will get a $50 discount. And there's a code that I will give you if you commit to do this, and they'll enter that in at registration time, and they will get the discount. And so the benefits to this is, number one, you don't have to have a club meeting the week of district conference. Number two, you'll get a $50 registration discount, but in exchange for that, you need to bring your club to conference. Now, there's 2 ways you can come to conference if you're an all-in club. One is that you can come and join the whole conference weekend. That's what we really want. And that's where you'll get the $50 discount, is off the whole attendance. But if you just have club members who want to come to the Friday luncheon, which is going to be Dick Fosbury, gold medal winner, he's going to inspire us about seeing the future of Rotary. They can come and attend that. It actually costs us $40 for that lunch. We do have to have the names for that. So what you will do to qualify for this is, after you sign up your club with me and provide me with the name of whoever in your club is going to be your coordinator for the district celebration, I will give you that discount code. And then your celebration coordinator can promote the conference week to week and make sure that everybody's getting signed up. And then for those who maybe can't attend or don't want to attend the whole weekend, but they at least want to go for lunch, you'll need to make a Friday lunch only sign-up sheet. And you'll need to collect the names and remit their lunch money to the district. So let's just suppose, for example, that your club covers approximately a $15 meal charge. You will remit that to the district for your club meeting, and the district will pay the other $25 for that member to attend. So it's really actually a good deal if you're only going to come for the lunch. But you have to be an all-in club to do that. I know this is kind of a new concept and maybe a little hard to wrap your head around. So let me just open it up for questions as to what it means to be an all-in club. I hear crickets.
Does it make sense?
Am I muted? All right. Well, that's an opportunity for the clubs that want to take advantage of that. And we hope that some of you will and some of you do. and that will help increase attendance, especially for clubs who are nearby. I think if you're within an hour of Pocatello, this is a great option, especially for you clubs. So there you go. Let's go ahead and talk about the remote club, which is also a new thing we're doing. And you find that up here on the register, this top line under register, there is a link here to a remote luau. What is a remote luau? Okay.
The opportunity to have a gathering at someone's home in the evening to actually hear the presentation, create their own little event. Again, it's synergy, but if they can't make it, let's say they're in Salmon and they want to still participate, they can be part of this event by doing a remote login, and you would be contacting Kevin Bradshaw for that. It's a fun way to still participate, hear the speaker, get some energy from the event, but you necessarily don't have to be present. So this is a really fun way to, again, engage. And we're trying to think outside the box. We're trying to offer different opportunities for different groups of people to be able to participate without necessarily having to be on site.
So Dave Goldthorpe, for example, Western Treasure Valley, Stephanie up in McCall. Some of you far-flung clubs, this could be a really, really good option for you. This is free. We're just letting you tap into this. The only requirement is you get somebody in your club that says, hey, we're going to have everybody meet at my house. It's going to be potluck. We're going to have a little luau, wear a Hawaiian shirt, come, and then we will have a Zoom link for you. You'll Zoom in and you'll actually be able to watch that Friday evening district conference luau event and be with us. And the important part of that is, of course, Chad Hymas, our keynote speaker, the one I've talked about as I've come around and in the clubs. He will be the keynote speaker that night. So everyone in the district should have the opportunity to get to hear Chad, either by coming to district conference directly and seeing him live, or by joining in on a club remote luau event that you guys will set up in your own club at somebody's house. Does that make sense to everybody? Is that an exciting idea? Let me hear from you. You like it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Any comments, thoughts about that?
I have one, Rich.
Yes, please, Lisa.
For clubs, say if my club wanted to come, and I would love for us to be an all-in club. And since our meeting is on Thursday, if I don't have to have a meeting on Thursday, I can get down there earlier. Is there a minimum number of people that you want to get from the further away clubs in order to be able to be an all-in club?
Not necessarily. I'm sure there's some kind of mathematical break-even point where it makes sense one way or the other to do it or not do it. But if you want to be an all-in club and you can generate the enthusiasm, we would love to have you be an all-in club.
Okay, we'll be there.
Excellent, with your red sneakers on.
Absolutely.
Any other questions?
Will we have this Zoom event recorded so that they can share that at the club events post the celebration?
Actually, we're planning on recording almost all of the general plenary sessions, particularly the speakers, because we have some of the best speakers that you could possibly come up with. I'm going to just actually click on our speaker page so that I can kind of introduce you to it. Chad Hymas, you all know about him because we've been around. He's an influencer, a speaker, author, guide. You know Chad, he has an amazing story. He will be coming. Of course, Dick Fosbury is a huge draw. People love to hear Dick talk. They love to watch him go over that high bar backwards that he did in 1968 Olympics in Mexico. We'll be playing that clip, and he'll be talking about seeing the future. He is someone who literally changed history. If anyone can talk about seeing the future, it's Dick Fosbury. And then, of course, Kent Oram, our CEO of Idaho Central Credit Union, largest credit union in Idaho. This man has built one of the most amazing leadership teams of anybody I know. And if anybody can speak to team building and bringing a successful organization to light, Ken Oram is your guy, and he will be our Saturday night keynote speaker. Of course, President Kevin Satterley, also a great speaker, president of ISU, will not only be hosting events, but he will also be speaking to us. So what a wonderful speaker he is. And we are so thrilled to have past District Governor Doug Vincent, who is not just a past District Governor, he is also a motivational speaker. He has,
and his wife is as well.
And his wife is a international performer. She had a television show of her own. We are really lucky to have these people come, and we're excited. He will be our Saturday morning keynote, speaking about the power of one. So we have really a lineup, really excited about. Another thing that I could just mention is that our lodging opportunities here, we've selected the Marriott Suites. We have a room block available there, but it's certainly not the only option for getting there. Our House of Friendship will be here, so you can go there, and once you're there, no drinking and driving. You can just stay right at the hotel. And so we hope that that will be a good option, but there are other options that are listed here. And one of the great things about Pocatello, we have really affordable hotels, and so that will be very nice. We'll have some great learning sessions. We'll pencil this in just a little more as we sketch out more of the breakouts and of the events that will be happening. And the schedule, you can click on this and get a real a quick overview schedule of the conference, or there is also a detailed schedule that's below. If any of you can see up here in the right-hand corner, you can actually click on that and it will open up a Google Doc, and you can see the schedule or anything that has one of those there. So that is sort of the schedule, both in detail and in summary form. Really looking forward to this conference. Kate is doing a fantastic job of putting all this together. We wouldn't be able to offer this conference at the low prices and give the discounts that we're giving if it weren't for our sponsors. So we really want to give a shout out to Idaho Central Credit Union, United Heritage Insurance. They are major sponsors for this. D.L. Evans Bank, Simplot, Nichols Accounting, Sensations, the Gold Gym people here in Pocatello, Bank of Commerce, Holly Troxel, that's a tongue twister, and the Idaho State Journal. So we have some great, great sponsors. And so with that, let me just pause for a moment and stop sharing my screen and see if anybody has any comments they would like to make or questions you'd like to ask.
Hey, Rich, can I chime in for just a second?
Please.
I don't know if many of you, I'm looking at your list of speakers. I'm wondering how in the world you guys managed that because our club in Pocatello has heard from Kent. We've heard from President Satterley. We've heard from Dick Fosbury. And I'll tell you what, I'm excited. I mean, I was excited before, but if you haven't heard, and I'm just going to say President Satterley speak, he is inspirational. He's fantastic. So well done to you guys for lining these folks up. That's going to be fun. These are really, really good speakers that I think everybody's going to love.
I think Rich walked into some of these offices and said that he was the district governor, and they thought they heard governor, and they were like, "Oh, let me make that appointment for you."
Whatever it takes.
That's
That's all. Whatever it takes, that works.
Well, that is funny because actually I went over to the courthouse in Haley and asked if I could speak with the county commissioner, which is Dick Fosbury. And it was Friday, and the commissioners generally aren't there. And she says, who could I say is asking? And I said, well, tell him that Governor Rich Kirkham is here. And she looked at me like, you don't look like the governor, but I'm not going to question you. And she went and forthwith, out came Dick Fosbury. And so we were able to secure him, and he'll be our speaker. I forgot to click on this link, the excursions. Boy, there's some fun excursions. Kate, just talk a little bit about the excursions.
One of the things that we're very excited about is we wanted to have activities that everyone would enjoy. The Pins for Polio is going to be a bowling tournament. We're going to give prizes away for the best, and I call them costumes. I'm sure there's a uniform that it's really entitled, but and the costumes, we're going to have bowling that will allow us to raise money for the polio initiative. But it will be fun. It will be engaging. There'll be team building. There'll be lots of laughter, and we will have adult beverages available at that particular event. We have Rocks, Rails, and Trails, which is Paul Link, and he is just a phenomenal leader, speaker. He has done great things here in Southeast Idaho. He's going to do a walk and teach people about what this whole geographic area looks like and why it looks that way. That's a lot of fun as well. We're going to have an opportunity if you want to go to see the old cars, possibly this is still in the works, but the old cars of Pocatello nostalgia with Rich Kirkham, I think is the one who has that.
Yeah.
All those old cars. So have a bit of nostalgia in you and love to see all the vehicles. That's a rich show-off moment, pride. We're going to work on a betting against polio. So that is the same time that we have the Triple Crown. We're going to make a little fun out of it. We're going to do some presentations and put it part of the raffle and create some stir on the betting end of how that looks and raise some more money for polio in that. And then the other piece is going to the Natural History Museum. One of our great members, Leaf, is part of the Pocatello Club. He is the executive director for the museum, and that is on campus. So you are going to see parts of Pocatello that some people have never seen before. You're going to make relationships, and you're going to have a lot of fun and create some great memories.
Thank you, Kate. I appreciate you going over those. There is if you come up here to the registration line and click on invitation, there is a letter from me, the governor, that I would really like every club to read in their club meeting to kind of warm up your club and invite them to the conference. I hope that all your members know about this, that you'll put this real high on your priority list to start pushing district celebration. We really want this to be fun and have people come and enjoy it. I will just share briefly my district conference story. I joined Rotary about 19 years ago, and for the first 5 or 6 years, one of the past club presidents kept inviting me to go to district conference, and I'm thinking, like, why would I want to go to district conference? It's like I didn't know what it was. It was something that I didn't think it pertained to me. I wasn't a club leader. I wasn't involved that much beyond my club. And so I always blew him off and said, well, maybe someday I'll go. And then I became part of the board of directors. And the board really encouraged us all to go to district conference. This was back in about 2011 or 12. And I went to my first district conference in Sun Valley. And I was blown away. I had so much fun. I met people from all over the district, people I never would have met. And the first year, I'll admit that it was one of those things where I just saw a lot of faces I didn't know. But as the years go by, these have become dear friends. And it's been so great every year to go back and see everyone. And of course, all of the training that comes with the district conference, the awards that are given for club excellence and to individuals. And that maybe would be my segue at this point to talk about the last thing that I have up on the top bar of the district conference website. There is, you can click on awards, and you'll all you clubs will want to know about how we are working our district awards. We started this at Pat's. You might remember we discussed a little bit about giving district awards in 6 areas. And I'm going to try to make this as absolutely as simple and easy as possible for you to get district awards. So the categories for awards are membership, foundation, public image, service, youth, and outstanding leaders. So your club can be recognized in one or all of these areas. You may absolutely get a landslide and get an award in every category, and that would be wonderful. Now, you may be wondering, well, how do we report our progress towards these awards? Simple. You go to the goal center. All you have to do is the same things that you're going to do to get your Rotary citation. And so all your goals in the goal center is where we will find the information as to who gets recognized at district conference. Let me give for instance. under number 1, club membership growth, it says clubs who achieve any of the following 6 goals listed in the Rotary citation will be recognized at district conference. Report your goal achievement in the goal center. So for example, I'll just skip down here to unite people number 6. Conduct a study of your members' occupations and work to align your membership with a mix of businesses and professionals in your community. If you achieve that goal and mark it off in the goal center, you will be recognized at district conference for having achieved that goal. And so it is. It goes on the same way. Your club foundation, it's under the taking action item number 1. Appoint an active club foundation committee comprised of no less than 5 members, chair to Rotary International. If you do that and you report in the goal center that you've achieved that, you will be recognized for that at district conference. And so it goes. Public image is taking action items number 8 and 9. Service project recognition is taking actions number 2, 5, 6, and 7. New generations, it will be uniting people number 8 and number 9. And outstanding leaders, this is a little bit of an exception. We do have taking action item number 7, sponsor or co-sponsor a new Rotary Club or Rotary Community Corp. Bob Rose, you might be able to work that with your club.
The collaboration.
Yeah, your collaboration you're doing. This one is slightly different. This will be leaders selected by the district governor who will be recognized. Some of you who are at this meeting today are candidates for these awards for being our outstanding club presidents, our outstanding district leaders, and our outstanding Rotarians. Now, some of you, and I'm thinking particularly of you, Randy Budge, have mentioned some members. I think I saw Jack Nelson here on the call, and we also have one of your members who will be an outstanding Rotarian. So if you have someone in your club who you say, wow, I want them recognized at district conference, you need to contact me. Tell me what it is that you want them recognized for and how we can make a fuss over them at district conference, because we really want this to be a wonderful time to recognize great work in clubs and great work by outstanding individuals. So with that, I'm going to stop my screen share and just open it up for questions about district conference or awards or any of the things we've talked about, because I've gone nonstop and I think most of you are asleep by now. I don't know. Oh,
Jazz hands? What?
is that it? No, nobody has a comment? Jake Hansen, what about you? Any questions about district conference? Are you going to be an all-in club? Okay.
Yay!
Hey,
I don't know.
Rich, I think that's a great presentation, great job for district conference. I'd like to create more of our people going, and we're paying for, I forget how many it's in the budget. So, but no, it sounds like an outstanding program which you guys put together. Thank you very much.
Thanks for that feedback, Bob. And do you have any suggestions, Bob, of ways that we could improve that or make it easier, better?
I think you've covered just about everything I could think of.
Great, thank you.
No, that's true.
Craig Conklin, I see you on the call. You haven't said anything so far in the meeting. What are your thoughts? Are you going to bring all your folks up here from Preston?
You know, we just started talking about this at our last Tuesday meeting, that and the pets. So your timing is perfect. You've given me a lot of good ideas to take back. And yes, we are. We're excited about having it at Pocatello. And I do know we'll have several joining. This is the first I heard about the All Club Inn, so we'll be visiting about that as well. But thank you very much for this. This has been a great presentation overall. Lots of good ideas and appreciated very much. So
great, thank you. Kevin Allen, I see you on the call. You're one of our all-star club presidents. You got one of the greatest clubs in the district. I love the Singing Club of Boise. Tell us your thoughts. Give us a couple of thoughts to end the meeting.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, good. No, great presentation. Lots of great information. Right now, I'm looking over the district awards page that you just showed us, and I think this is a great way to get a board focused on these particular goals. We know that if we can check a lot of these boxes, our clubs are going to be in much better shape to be able to hand to the next president down the road. So great job today. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you. As a comment on district awards, I remember being club president and being a little frustrated that at the last minute, the district comes around and says, oh yeah, if you want to be recognized for something, here's our criteria for awards. And you guys have been working on the Rotary citation all year. There really isn't anything that I would have you do different from that. If you get the Rotary citation or work on achieving goals in the Rotary citation, you're going to be an excellent club. So that's where the recognition is going to come. It should make your lives a lot easier. You won't have to report one thing to Rotary International, another thing to us at the district. It'll all be the same, should be very seamless. You just need to go in there and check those boxes.
Thank you for that, Rich. I also remember that we were told we could wear jammies to this meeting, and I don't see anybody except for myself in their jammies. I'm just pointing that one out. I took you literally.
Well, you have to know that nobody has stood up yet, so there might be a lot of pajama bottoms out there. Stephanie, do you have a parting shot for us?
I'm not very fast on muting.
There you go.
I've really enjoyed, I gotta tell you, I've really enjoyed these monthly meetings that you instituted when you were governor-elect, and you asked us who were president-elects to come. And now this, as your governor, it makes a real difference. I am a distant club in McCall, and so there's not a lot of interaction with other Rotarians from other clubs, and this has made a huge difference for me. Not only to feel like there's a good connection, but also, you know, kind of to remind me to, oh, geez, you know, we should be doing this, or gosh, we need to get that done, or that task. I'm employed full time. I'm not a retired president. And so that challenge has been eased by having some of these communications and these connections. So thank you. I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Stephanie. Jim Griglak, I see you on the call. How's everything doing down in Montpelier? Are you guys coming to district conference? Oh, did I lose you?
Can you hear me? I'm at a wrestling meet. Let me see out the hallway. But anyway, yeah, we're planning on coming over. That was the first time I'd heard the all in, so I'm going to bring that up to the club members and
Great. Well, I hope you do. And if any of you have any questions about anything we've talked about and want to just get a hold of me, please just pick up the phone, give me a call, drop me a text or an email. I really loved being with you this morning. I have so enjoyed coming to your clubs and getting to know your members. There is so much strength in this district. We have so many wonderful members. You presidents have done great, great work this year. I'm so proud of each and every one of you. And I just want to leave this meeting today thanking you for all you do for Rotary and wish you the very best in the second half of the year as you work to finish strong. So with that, we'll end the meeting. Everybody,
Jazz hands.
Let's give jazz hands one more time. Thank you.
Russ.
Goodbye, everyone.
Oh, thank you, Russ.